that a question?
Yes.
The question is futile.
That information is not available.
My interpretation of the data leaves little room for error.
You know what they say. No good deed goes unpunished.
Well, how you doing? So, we've got video today. Morning. Just done a bit of a bad thing. Maybe. OBS update. Will it all work? Let's see. Okay. Morning. Just done a bit of a bad thing. Maybe. Oh, okay. Seems okay. So let's crack on. So what are we doing today? So number 74. Hooking up the cat commands to the width, shift, notch and contour. So we're doing the contour today. We've got the width shift and I think we got the notch. Did we get the, yeah, we got the notch going a bit. So we're going to try and do the contour now. Let's see how we get on with that then. Okay. So let's give you a bit of an overview. We'll run up the app or the executable. Here it is. Switch the radio on. I need a power supply on to switch the radio on. Always a good idea. Right, so we've got the radio on. It's found the ID number. That's good. Right, here we go. So when we do this, we're shifting. The shift lights up on the display, which it does, until you go back to 0. Right, so we probably could do with an easier way of doing that on and off. Then we've got the width, which is it lighting up? Doesn't look like it's lighting up. The symbol is on the screen, but width isn't changing. Ah, it is now. So basically it ignores me until I close it off, until I've gone over from 8 to 9 on the width setting. Yeah, now it comes on. So we're going to have to put some constraints on that, but not today. And then we've done the notch. So the notch is not necessarily working. Why is that? Now it's working, but it's not updating the UI. Oh, we've got the notch symbol on, but that's because we never turned it on or off. So maybe, let me just go into the notch setting. See if it is actually moving. Oh, it is actually moving. So it's just... Oh, it's actually on now. Why is that then? Maybe there's a separate command to turn the notch off, on and off. Or I'm not turning the notch. Right, so it isn't operating. Oh, so when I bring it up, it switches it on. You can't not have it on. That's weird. It won't bring you the display up. It's moving around. So, we might have to have a button to switch that on and off. Let's have a look at the cat command for the notch. Because it's not making a whole lot of sense. Right, let's bring up the cat command for the notch. I thought we'd finished that yesterday. Let's have another look at it. So we had a problem finding the notch last time. Was it B? BP notch, manual notch. So BP. Okay, so you've got to switch the notch on and off. Manual notch level. Right. Okay, let's have a look what we're doing in the code. So there's the notch. Right, so filters wave, notch frequency. So, are we doing anything? Yeah. So the notch frequency is the one that's switching it on and off. But no, we're doing it there. So we're, yeah, we're sort of doing something with it. But what we need to do is just find out what the values are changing. So we've got that working. Maybe then what the notch works in a different way. So we'll turn the send off down here, and we'll alter the notch. Let me just give it some width first. So we'll bring the notch down, and we've got a question mark because the notch setting. So BP with BP01, so we're switching it on, and we're giving it 800, which it doesn't like. It needs to be 1000. Yeah, so it started responding from there on. So what we'll do is give it another command here. We'll ask it for the notch value. So yeah, we'll just ask it. Let's see what happens. I want it to answer me back. So let's make that so wide, turn the notch off. Okay, so we've given out the notch command. We've asked for the value to come back with a question mark. Until we get up to a certain range, then it'll answer properly. No, it's actually not answering properly. Let's give it more range. So it's coming back with a question mark. BP0. But if I go into notch, if I switch notch on and move this around, it is actually moving it, but it's not answering me. So the BP0 it doesn't understand. Let's have a look at the data sheet again. So, oh, sorry, you need to provide an extra parameter to read it. You can't just give it a fix, you've got to give it P2 as well. That's why it's not answering me. So I'll give it I know what it's doing. So if you want to read the value of the notch, whether it's on or off, you give it a 0 of P2, which is that parameter, and if you want to find the level out, you give it a 1. That makes perfect sense now. Right, okay. Seeing as we've manually done it, so I could find out whether it's on or off. But let's just put the 1 on it. So we're asking for the frequency. So now it should return the frequency instead of returning a question mark. It didn't understand. It's not expecting a command with only one parameter. So let's bring that up there. I'll put the stop on. So down here now, when I bring this down, it's actually answering back. I ask it for the frequency, it gives me back the 163, and that's after I set it in the first place. Where did I set it now? So if I change it here, it's changing the value. It is changing the value, but I've scrolled off the screen. Right, let's just try again. Yeah. It's coming up with a lot of extra info. Notch enabled, so it's doing it separately. Right. So, in that case, I'm doing it off the drag, and have I got a notch enabled? Must be. Have I allowed for a notch enabled? No. So what I need to do is notch frequency. It was saying notch enabled. So if I put a special case in, I was doing it off the one actually, but we can do that off a separate one. Just going to copy that into there. I'm going to put notch enabled in there. And we're just going to we can ask it for the notch enabled actually. We don't need to, yeah, so the notch, have we got a notch enabled? No. So we'll go on here, go to the definition, notch, we haven't got a notch enabled, so we'll make one. We'll make one and put it in there. Notch enabled, there we go. Right, yeah. So I'll go down the list, save that, and we'll go notch enabled. Oh, we've got it there now. It's a Boolean, so I'm going to force it into a bool. We don't need to do a frequency. So that could probably come out of there. That one there could come out. We'll put a temporary hold on that one. We'll do it down here, and we're just going to set the notch enabled. So how do we do that? Let's have a look. So we still got to provide it with a parameter. Yeah, still got to provide it for a parameter. Let me have a drink of this. Right. Let's see if the 710's cat command is any more descriptive. Let's have a look. BP. Right, here it is. BP. So I'm groggy today. Need some whiskey or something. Right. So you got your manual notch on and off, and it looks like I've got to provide it with something. So I think the default was 001 maybe. So I'll just pass it in 001. So notch enabled, I've got to pass it something. So we don't want to do notch enabled anymore. Sorry, notch frequency we want to do. And that'll be true. Well, if it's not equal, I don't know, let's do it differently. if not enabled, do that or do that. And we need to also do they're the same. So if not, and send it as 0, and I'm just going to send it at an 001. Can I do that? No, can't do that. Oh, you can. You can in this case. And to enable it, right, well this will obviously set the frequency back again. No, we don't need 2 lots for that. Yeah, we don't need that because we're not doing it all in one anymore. So we just need that one. So it disables the notch or enables it, and we just need to send that value to it in that position there. That should do it, and you read it back, and that just reads it back. Well, that reads the frequency, so if you want to read whether it's disabled or enabled, you've got to do that one. Right, let's give that a try, see if it works. Right. So just move that apart, stop the send and pull down the notch. So we've got the notch there, and when we push up, the notch should go away, but my notch is staying lit. It's working the notch, so anywhere like that, the notch is off. It's not actually turning it off though, so it's altering it still. So you should be able to set the notch without, it's not actually sending the off. Because I'm probably, what we're doing, we're fighting against it in the previous one here. I'm setting it to off. So we're setting notch enabled. It's expecting, I need to convert that to an int, I think. Yeah, because it's a bool. Right, so it's not going to do it there, is it? It doesn't want a bool, it wants an int. So, tell you what we'll do. We'll convert the notch enabled from a bool to an int, just to make it easier. Right, so we don't need to change that anymore. Probably need to say it's an int now. Right, and we'll need to go back to the old way of doing it. Is equal to 0. Okay, and then we want to do notch enable. That's okay to go straight at it. Because I'm switching it off. No, I'm only reading it. I'm reading it, but will that make it enabled? No, it shouldn't do. I might be switching it back off again once I've set it. Right, let's just go down here. So probably we need to send the current state. Yeah, notch. I need to send that state with it because we're overriding it there. Okay, so let's just send notch enabled with it there. So we don't need two. We don't need this actually now, no more. Just need the one. So we're going to send it through, and yeah, that'll do fine. And this cat command here, when we're asking for it, so we probably need to we just need to send that. Right, okay, that's awkward. So I need to, right, so I need two of these then. If we're asking for it, so I need two of them. So we'll do an if statement here. If this is just for reading it back, we're going to take this out after. If notch enabled is equal to 0. Oh, is equal to 0. Then we'll do this one like that, and else we're going to do this one. Yeah, so if it's not enabled, if it's equal to 0, then it's disabled. Right, let's try that. So this is a bit weird because when we're asking for just to read it, it doesn't want us to provide a parameter. So if we do provide a parameter, we won't be reading it, we'll just be setting it. So we need to just, let's see if that works then. So the only thing updating the UI is the enabled bit, and we're sending over the frequency. No, we're overriding the frequency, so we need to send that frequency. Keep sending that frequency back to it. If we're doing a notch enabled, yeah, we still need to set the frequency. Okay, let's give it a go. Don't know what will happen. Let's give it a try. So notch is on at the minute. So I'm changing. No, the value's not changing. It's coming up with an error, an exception. Hang on. Specified cast is not valid. So right, I'm not casting something. So the value, right, so I don't know, I need to have a look at this one here. Go up to the top. Right, so we've got notch, frequency, step, notch value, no, notch frequency, notch state. It's notch state that's being set. Notch state's being set, and not the other one. Oh, notch enabled. Right, we've got conflicting stuff going on here. Some stuff we're using, some stuff not. So we've got two lots of states. Never duplicate data of any type. It's a bad idea. Some of this was created by AI when I asked it initially, and some of it's created by me. So you got notch frequency there, and also notch frequency. So when I'm going to 0, hang on, let's try. Let's look for notch enabled. Find all references. So we've got it there, and on property changed. So we're issuing the notch enable. So when we come over to this one, hang on, notch enabled, go to definition, notch states, so it's returning notch state. Right. What a load of crap. Done it do it weird ways. AI's crazy, man. It's done lots of things. Right. We need to grab this by the horns. So it's returning notch state, which is that one. It's an enum of notch on and off. That's the user control. So what are we going to do? Right, so it's returning notch state. Okay, so what are we looking for? Are we looking for notch state? No, we're looking for notch enabled. Right, let's just start it again. Let's see if it is coming up with notch enabled or not. This is the problem if you've got duplicate things, variables for the same thing. It's never a good idea. Right, so let's open this up. Have a look down here. You've got notch enabled, firing. Let's just go across one. Yes, notch enabled. Wonder why where does it find in notch enabled from? Find all references. Right, so we've got invoke. Right, invoke. Notch enabled. Right, what's this doing? Unchanged. That's doing some clever bit of black art. Black box technology. Right. Notch enabled. Notch. So what is this doing? Invoke. Oh, it's creating an action. So it's using that. Why would it need to do all that kind of rubbish? Anyway, it's sending from the notch enabled, so we've got to be watching notch enabled. Right, okay. So it's this variable here, which is a bool, and then it's returning a state. It's an enum of off and 0. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. It's done a bit of a mess, but anyway. Right, so where do we go from here? How do we correct this problem? Anyway, nonetheless, it is firing the right function here. So the problem is notch enabled. So all we need to do is cast it into an int. The value is being cast into an int. So it's an int already. Alright. So we're creating an object. and it's going to an int. So I need to find the problem. Well, let's find where the problem is. How do we track this problem? Let's put a wait state there, and there, and there, and also one here, and one down here. Right, I don't know which bit is causing the problem, so let's try and find it. Always have one point where variables change, don't have multiple ways. Turn the send off. Right, so it's up the top here. Okay, it's going to keep continuing. It's fired a few times. There was an error there, an enabled error, and when I let go, right, so I'm sending a value. I don't know, it's all gone a bit crazy, hasn't it? You can't have as many stops on the drag because it's firing multiple times. So let's just knock that out for a bit. Find out which one's causing us the problem. Oh god, I got up early and it's already 10 to 8. Can you believe that, eh? Mad. Yeah, still throwing an exception then. Yeah. So, invalid cast. So it's not liking the cast. And it's not this section here, it's the one up here. So, send a command, notch enabled, a notch frequency, so that should be okay there. It's probably not liking this, one of these. Tell you what, let's just take that out a minute, see if it likes that one. If it doesn't like that one, we're not doing too well. Maybe notch enabled isn't actually a set value yet. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, so exception thrown. Error sending notch enabled, not a valid cast. Okay. Right, fair enough. So it doesn't like notch enabled. It's not a valid cast, so why isn't it a valid cast? Maybe it's just not set. Anyway, we don't need to set the enabled from here, so let's just send it a 0, so we can adjust the frequency without setting it to on, and this will report back. So let's just see if that sorts that out. Or just give it a value, a set value. See if it gets rid of the error. No, we've still got an error. It's not liking it, so it's the cat command itself. Right, let's go to the cat control. Here it is. So notch modes, there we go. Needs to be cast into a notch mode. It doesn't like the fact, so if you look at notch modes, manual notch on and off, yeah, so we're doing it in different ways. Okay, I mean we can do it that way. We can do it that way. Okay, let's just do it that way. So the result needs to be a notch mode. Yes, I'll keep it like that. So I'll go down here. We'll cast the notch mode. Cast it into a notch mode before we send it. Okay. That should do for that. Right, let's just see if that gets rid of the error. If I've got an exception, it just won't send the info or update the notch enabled bit. Turn the send off. Still got an exception. Notch enable cast is not valid. Right, so maybe notch enabled is not equal to anything. Yeah, this is what happens when you've got duplicate data. You've got 2 or 3 variables doing the same thing. You've got to clean it up. You're giving yourself errors when there's no need. Now the user control has got its own parameters that fire when you adjust it. Then there's a global setting, so it needs to just interact with the global setting, which it is doing. So when we use the cat command, we've got to won't be forced into a notch mode. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of a if notch enabled. See, notch enabled is an int. So if it's equal to 0, we do one thing. Else we do another thing. Excuse me. Right, if it's an 8, so we're going to send it a 0 like we were doing, and now we're going to send it a 1. But it needs to cast it into something. So we could just actually send it straight from the enum, cast the enum. I can't remember what it's called now. Notch results, notch modes dot notch on off. This is what happens. Oh, I've done that again. Notch modes dot frequency. Okay. So it should equates to that, and it's expecting. Now that's just an enum, so we'll have to cast it to a whatever the cat control. It's expecting a notch mode. It's casting it from an int. So might need more work doing on it. Let's see if it likes it. It'll probably no, it won't like that because it's referring to the enum. I don't know. Let's try it. It's just weird stuff. This enum. I normally use a struct, but I've started to use enums because that's what everyone uses. Right, it's going to be still an error, isn't it? Yeah, it's still an error. Invalid cast so it still doesn't like the cast. Yeah, it doesn't like it, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to tell it, cast it into a notch. Modes. A notch modes. Because it wants a notch mode, so we'll cast it into a notch mode. I think. Who knows? No, it's going down the wrong path here. Cast is not valid. Why not? Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? How can we do this then? So the cat command is expecting. I'm casting the int from a notch result. So notch results, casting a mode into there. So that's a radio stage notch mode. Okay, so it wants it as an int, does it? Okay, so we'll try casting it to an int. It wants it as an int, I think. I don't know, I've lost the track of it. Let's try that. Yeah, cat control has more to it than meets the eye. Initially, it gives you an FA command, which you just set the frequency. Sounds easy, but then you get into other stuff. So we've still got an exception. Specified cast is not valid. So I did have it sending the frequency at one point, didn't I? Now it's not doing anything. So what have I changed? I just set it a value, didn't I? I just set 0 and I set it as 1. That's all I did, didn't I? Oh. Yes, I think right, I'm not sure which one. Could be one of these, it's no good. Let's just take that off a minute. Right, okay. Well, I don't know. Let's have a go. Could be this notch enabled down here that's not valid anymore. Oh, I've took them out, so it's not that. Took them out temporarily, took them out. Yeah, still invalid. So it's not liking the command at all. Notch enabled. Error sending notch enabled. I'm not doing anything for notch enabled. Right, so I'm not actually doing anything. So the only way I am doing it is here, and I'm not using notch enabled. Oh. I've got it testing there. Okay, let's just take that out for a minute. Something weird. Weird going on. What have I changed? It was working initially, it's just the on-off that wasn't working. Exception thrown. Specified cast is not valid. Okay. Just take that one off then. Surely it's not going to give me any grief now. Who knows? Don't do anything with AI. If you let it run riot on your system, you'll spend ages trying to clean it up. Right. Oh, still got an exception. So it's nothing to do with the cat command. Right. Nothing to do with the cat command. It's probably this here. Right, so it doesn't like the... okay. It doesn't like these things. There's nothing else on there. That's funny as hell, man. I'm just wondering if it's somewhere else. Yeah, lost track of it a bit. You got to maintain a level of concentration really, and then see it through to the end. I was too tired last night to carry it on. Right, so it's just not liking the fact that, yeah, it's just this bit here really. Right, it doesn't like this fact. So the notch enabled. It's returning an on-off state. It's a bool, but it's a bool, but it's returning a notch state. This is a weird way of doing it. I don't think we're going to get very far until we've got this mess going on here. But anyway. So if I don't know if it's a bool or not. I don't know what it is. That's the trouble. I've no idea what it is. Right, so it's returning the notch state for notch enable. Find all references. Right, so it's whenever we set the notch, if it's enabled, what's it doing? Nothing. Oh. Yeah, some switching. So it's sent in a new state. Okay, so we've got a new state there, and we've got a notch enabled. Why have we got 3? Oh, that's enabled internal. So we've got 2 things going on here. So we've got a notch state and a notch enabled that gets fired. It can't fire the notch depth. So set notch enabled internal. I don't know what that's talking about. A notch state and a notch enabled is the same thing, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's created this from gathering data sheets, and it's not understood it right, so it's created this thing. So we've got a width enabled, that works. So update the thumb's position, update the waveform. Why aren't we doing the same with that one? We've got all this convoluted stuff going on here, but it's the same thing. Set the notch frequency. Set notch frequency. So the value, and then we're doing the notch in frequency. Yeah, it's a bit crazy. Notch enable. Another notch enable down here. Look. set notch enabled internal, which is this one. Yeah, it's doing it's doing some weird stuff. Set contour enable. We haven't got to contour yet. Shift value. What's shift value? Go to shift value. It's doing some weird stuff. It's doing all three: value, direction, and magnitude. Anyway, it doesn't like it, so we don't know what it is. But it doesn't like my cast. So if it doesn't like my cast, let's not cast it. Let's just tell it it's a value, and it doesn't like it at all. Okay. Notch enabled. It's this here, isn't it? Which is an enum. Okay, so let's cast it into that then instead of an in. I'll cast it into that. Doesn't like it. No, something going wrong here. Go to the definition. Enum 1 on or off. And they're just ints. The default to being an int. Right, so that's a strange one. So it only likes it as an int. And then we're doing if it's 0. So I don't know where the problem is. Let's knock that out for a minute. See if it's just this cast. See, I'm gonna have to rewrite the code. Make it simpler. Take out the duplicate stuff in there. It's just confusing everything. Right, still got an invalid cast. Error sending notch enabled. Right, so it's just that it doesn't like. Okay, let's put that one back and take that out of there. It won't give it a value there, will it? Try anything at this point. Yeah, it's not working out there. I need to copy something that works. Copy the formatting for it. We've got plenty of things that have to be switched on and off, so I should be able to find something. Yeah, there's no error now, so it is this cast it doesn't like. Maybe it's not notch enabled. Notch enabled. Go to the definition. It's a private int. Notch frequency not is value, so maybe it needs to be a bool. Notch enabled. Let's move that out there. Oh, let's make it a bool. Notch enabled is now a bool. Boolean. Right, okay, so where do we go to? I've lost it now. Where's it gone? I must have closed something down. Where's my oh, I'm in it. It's alright, I'm in it. Right, here we go. So the value will be, can I just make it value? No, it needs to be a bool maybe. So it likes the bool now. So if not notch enabled, still doesn't like that. Why is that? Oh, needs a closing bracket. Okay, let's see what we get now. So it's nothing to do with the actual cat command. It's just swapping one variable for another. It's like wiring a cable that is numbered to a coloured cable, then going at the other end of the coloured cable back to a number. And I think we're doing it again now. We're doing it 3 times. Hang on. Oh, I don't want that one. I want to widen it first. Turn off the send, and I want to... Right, so it's not arguing about it anymore. No error. So now we can introduce back in. We should be able to turn the notch. Let me see if the notch switches on and off. The actual notch label, that one there. So if I go to up, yeah, it switches off. There we are. So that's right, working. I mean, the default value, I've told it it's on, so it needs to read from it and switch it off. I'm not reading anything yet. I'm only sending it one way. So okay, so that'll work there. Now we can introduce back. Because obviously the radio doesn't know about the notch being enabled. That is now a bool, which it doesn't want. It doesn't want a bool, it wants a digit. So what we're going to have to do is do an if statement here. So if not notch enabled, do this one, else do the other one. So we're going to set it in as a digit. Is expecting, I think it casts it from an int anyway, so it should work. Right, okay, so that should turn on and off the radio as well as the radio. NCH on the radio should turn on and off at the same time the notch symbol. Right, so let's just widen that up, bring that down. Notch is enabled, notch is not disabled. So we're back to, we're able to move the V around on the screen. Really, I should have a little camera on here, really. Hi Andy, how you doing? Welcome. You okay? Is it cooler down there today? I've got a picture today, I've got a shirt on, so... Yeah, so I'm trying to turn the notch on and off. And I don't know if it's because I'm in it at the minute. Let's come out. Let's see if it turns it on and off. No. So my notch enabled is... it's coming back with a question mark. See that? So if I pull it down, I've got an on there. That value is the on. And if I push it back up, it's... Oh, it's still on. It's still got an on. It's still got an on. Right, okay. So that's why it's not switching off. It's not actually working. So if not notch enabled, do a 0. So it's not actually doing it, is it? So if I put one there and one there, actually it's, yeah, it's gonna, Well, I don't quite know why it's not working. Oh, it must be, it's not liking the format, but it's coming out okay. No, it's not. It's still a 1. It's still a 1 when it should have been a 0. Strange. Right, turn the send off. So I just push up and we're on the top line, yeah, which is the off. And I click continue. And I've told it here to be off, but it's saying question mark. So 00940. Right, so it probably doesn't like the fact that I'm sending the frequency with it. Let's have a look at the cat command again. Right, so this is confusing to understand. I see, I know what it is now. You have to tell it which one you're doing, and then you have to give parameter 3 as the on-off value. 0, 0, 0 for off. Yeah. It's just, I don't know why they do it that way. Does the 710 do it the same way? Let's have a look. Yeah, it does it the same way. So you have to tell it manual notch on and off, manual notch frequency. So this parameter, you're choosing which parameter you're using, but setting it to 0 or 1 doesn't turn it on and off. It only tells it what mode to expect parameter 3 in. Right, that makes sense. So, okay. Right, we can sort that out now. So, all we've got to do is, we don't want notch frequency. If we're turning it on and off, we want a 0. Now, is it going to know? We don't, well, we might have to make it, we can't. Oh, it will put it in the right format. Yeah, so if I send it a 0 for off and a 1 for on, it'll automatically add the 3 digits. So do I need to change this? No, 1 is for frequency, isn't it? So manual notch level. So we're on notch on and off. So both times this, if we're switching it on and off, we need to be on 0. So this is the bit that changes. Right, let's give that a go, get that working, and then we can introduce the frequency. What someone needs to do is write a new cat command with better description, really. So we've got no problem there. We've got a notch on and off. It's off on the screen on the 891. It's on. Yeah, that's working okay. Trust me. Yeah, and I go up and down, and it won't do anything with the frequency. That's fine, and it's not coming back any errors. Right, so that's working, and we can ask for the state of it with that command. Should tell you the state, even though it probably came back. I think it already gives it back anyway. Not sure. Let's try it. What a mess. I suppose they've got to make it backwardly compatible with all the other stuff. So we go up first, just switch it off, and it sent me back a. I've sent it. What have I sent it? I've sent it. Oh, it sent me that. No, I sent it that, and it sent me that. Right. So why has it sent me that? Don't know. Oh, it must be because it's off 0. Yeah, it sent me to, because it's, I'm asking it to switch it off, so it's confirming that it's off with that value. Let's go to the bottom. So we're on, we're confirming that it's on, we're confirming that it's off. Oh, it's shot back up to the other bit. There it is. So that's working. So let's, yeah. So that's great. So let's sort out this other bit now. We've understood that bit. Let's put a note here. So note to actually switch on and off the NCH notch on the radio has to be done in P3, not P2. Okay, so we go up to the top bit now. We don't need to invoke that bit, that can come straight out of there now. The UI's taken care of. Right, so if notch is enabled, no, we don't need to do anything with notch enabled. We just need to set the frequency. Right, so let's not do that. So we just need to send the frequency. We don't need to do one or the other. So let's just send. So BP new object, because we want the frequency this time. We're setting the frequency and not the on off, so we need to set it to 1 notch level, and we need to send it. It's just telling you P2 has to be 1 and send it there. Yeah, okay. Right, so we're going to send it a 1, which we are. Then we're just sending the notch frequency, and that's it. So to ask for the notch frequency, we just need to. We don't need that at all. We're just gonna do ask for the frequency. That should be enough. So yeah, frequency, and we get back the state. So they're basically doing it out similar to I do mine. From the one command I can get different values back from different parts of the payload. So that should be it. Right, so the rest we don't need. Okay, let's see if it works. Should work. Alright, let's go over to here, turn the send off. So we'll go up to switch that off, and we'll switch the notch off, and then we'll drag that up, and we go into the notch. Hang on. So I'm in the notch, it's saying it's on at the minute. I'll switch it off, so I've switched it off by pushing up. I can still drag the frequency, yeah, the frequency's dragging. Yeah, the notch is dragging around. It goes down to 1,000. Hang on, let's go fully open. Yeah, it's defaulting to 1,500 for some reason. It went to 1,000 hertz then. Yeah, it's doing some weird tracking. Yeah, so the notch, it's doing more frequency. Right, let's see if I can switch it off. Yeah, switch it off, switch it on, switch it off, switch it on. So switch it off, but it's still got the V, and I can still move the V around. And if I coast down, I'm switching it on and off. So it does work, but the constraints are not right. Fully over. It's giving me 3070, and I've coming down here, and it's giving me, well, middle position gives me 16000. That's the wrong one. 1600, and I'm coming down. I've got 1000 hertz there. I'm going left. Nothing's changing now. And it's starting to go up now. When I got so far, it starts to go up. It's like it's going round. Yeah, it's like it's starting again. So let's see what value I'm giving it. So I'm okay here. It's giving it 101 times 10. So that should be 100 times 10, so that's 1000. If I come down another notch, it's still 1000. Let's keep going down to where it plays up. There. And then I have to drag it further back up. So that's where it's 1000, still 1000, and then now it's changed to 32. It's gone back round, so it's gone to 32. So let's have a look down here. 320, 330, 300. So where is the point? That's 0. 0. Why is it on 0? Oh, because I've got it off. That's doing 2 commands, isn't it? Right, 320. No, it's gone to 320 still. Ah, it's gone to 0. So for some reason it's wrapping round. So I think that there's something in the UI. Once it gets below 0, it's putting it back up again. That's the only explanation. So let's have a look here. So we want this frequency. The manual notch frequency. So notch frequency min max. So when it's reaching the minimum, it's obviously going back up again somewhere. Let's find all references of this, or let's find all references of the min. So set notch value, snap to the minimum, max, snap to step. So this bit here is the one that's doing it. That's snap into a step, the max. So if we go to that function, right, it's clamping it, clamping min to max, step round. So it's got to be something to do with that. Let's give it to Gemini to work out for us. Right, let's give it to Gemini. When value goes to 0, the function returns max. This issue occurs because the integer division or precision handling when value is 0 combined with how math round behaves or how -0 bounds interact. However, looking closely at the form of the min is positive, for example, step of 5 and becomes 0, the first line clamps to min. If min can be 0 or negative, let's trace why it's returning max. The function returns max when the immediate calculation somehow scales up or overflows. Right, okay, more than likely that one. If you pass 0, okay, fixed version, pure integer arithmetic. Right, let's just swipe, replace that for that. Right, doesn't like clamp. That's created a clamp here, yeah. Okay, right, so I know what to do. What's this one? Standard integer. Right, sorry. Using framework 4.8. I've had to type that so many times. Doesn't exist. Right, okay. Fully compatible version, right. Okay, let's see if it still does the same thing. Don't know if we need to do that even. It's just what AI is putting it. So we're off there. So I go up here. We're on 2600. Hang on, I've got to go full width. Sorry, full width. 3070. We've got 3070 in the middle position. We've got 1600 down here. We've got back up to 31 now. It's jumping all over the place. So it might be my drag delta. So let's put it back where it was. So I've got my drag. So I've got a notch drag somewhere. Let's find that. Shift, drag, width, drag, noise blank, notch, drag, delta. So we're dragging left shoulder, max, min, right. Bloody hell, it is a mess, isn't it? AI hallucination has put so many bits of code in here. If notch visual depth enabled, no, there isn't. Enable clamp top peak set notch enabled. No, that's a different one. Internal frequency. So we're back to this again, I think. Yeah, could be that. Frequency. It's doing something, math rounding up the frequency. Notch filter. Right, let me copy this to it and see if it knows, if it can see anything obvious. I won't say anything. See if I can identify a problem. It should say it's a mess because it created it. To integrate your step snapping logic while keeping it fully compatible, pass the raw card through to the safe. Right, updated. Right, I don't know what it's done. Let's see what it's done. Is it going to tell me? No. What did you do? It's crazy. The following changes. Integrated snap to step, added the integer safe framework. Applied snapping to the frequency. What about min max? Handles them two crucial places. What does it do? Acts like a gatekeeper. Before any map happens, it forces the incoming values to stay strictly inside the min max. Final boundary clamping. Okay, let's just try it. I'll try it even though I think it's barking up the wrong tree, but we'll try it. We shall try it. See if this does anything. I'm not entirely sure. What's it done there? Why has it suddenly done that as well? Has it included a new... Oh, it's included a new piece. Right, okay. So now it says it already defined. Where's it defined? Where's the snap? Where is it? Snap to step. Right, let's see if it'll build. See if it's hallucinated and don't know. I should just rewrite it myself because probably get rid of a lot of the rubbish out there, to tell you the truth. But anyway, right. So we're going up. Hang on, let's just take this to the full width. Wrong one. Right, and then drag this all the way up here. 3070 in the middle. 1600 going down. Oh, it stops at 1000 and it starts going up again. Yeah, so it's not done anything. It's totally up the wrong path. It's gone up the wrong path. Yeah, that's the other one back. I didn't do a damn thing. So what we'll do is not sure if it's the drag delta that's doing it. This frequency rounding up. See, it's max minus. No, it's not that. Okay, so how do I, right, I'll just say had to revert back. as none of the changes made a difference. Right. I don't know where the problem lies. It might... No, that's the filter control. What are the actual values of min max step? Right, let's just give it the code it wants. So user controls will give it those two, and we'll give it wave. Here are the three files. The bug isn't actually inside itself, it happens in the notch drag delt right here. When you drag the notch thumb all the way to the left edge, the entire right side, so why does it jump to max for you? Look at what happens when you feed a negative number into your original. Yeah, okay. Look at how the thumb width interact with your... Okay, if your filter this fix is to fix it reliably, ensure the ratio. Alright, inside notch, right, by forcing the pixel ratio explicitly clamp between, possible the color to drop below 10. Okay, you update the, where's the P gone? Update the file. Right, so it's changed two files. It was updated. Right, the fix implements a strict ratio boundary. We've got to do so much more with this stuff eventually. Right. Let's just hope it hasn't changed anything else. It's probably too big for it. Unchanged for okay, so it's only the one file we need. Right, okay, this one here. Select all and paste. Build. Succeeded, run it, see what happens. Okay, turn the send off. So open it fully up. Wait, turn it off. Wait, bring it all the way over. We've got 3070. Bring it to the middle. We've got 1600. Bring it down. We're clamped at 1000. It's starting to go up again. Yeah, so it's no good. No change. Okay, so I don't know what it did. Probably did nothing. Oh. Alright, 169. Okay, so we're back to there again. So it didn't fix it. No change. What the hell is it doing now? Oh, it's gone crazy. Okay, time to try ChatGPT. What's on the agenda today? Right, so you want wave. I have a problem with the width. No, it's not. Notch. When dragging down, when dragging towards left from full right, the notch frequency goes from 3020, well 3, I don't know what it is now. Let's go into it. How do we adjust the notch? Oops. So it goes all the way. Hang on. It's slow, isn't it? God. It's much quicker to do it on the computer. Right, 3200. Should go from 3200 hertz to 10, I think it was. Yeah, it's going lower for me on here. 10 hertz. 10 hertz, but it stops at 1000 hertz. Whoops, what's going on here? 1000 hertz. Then, if continuing left, it starts to rise up. Hang on. Let's rise up again. Oh dear. Right. Go on then. Yes. Yes, it does. I found the cause. The problem is that the code is using the visual clamping notch position to calculate the frequency. Yeah, so when the notch reaches the left shoulder of the filter, it cannot visually move any further left. The frequency calculation is then also stuck at the shoulder's frequency. In your current configuration, there is a second issue. After the thumb is clamped, you're using its current screen position at the starting point for the next drag. That means the UI has lost the notch's actual logical position. Correct approach: the notch needs two positions. Logical position representing can move across the entire range. Visual position is clamped inside the current filter passband. That way, if the notch, well, whatever. Replace your notch delta with this. Okay, let's give it a go. Copy. Notch delta. So, is that my notch delta? No, that's all of it. Alright, notch delta. Where are you? No, it's not there. Keep going, keep going, keep going. There it is, notch delta. Right, let's put some errors in, look. Don't know why. It's to filter people who don't know how to delete a mistake. It's done there, yeah, okay. Right, okay, save and build. Right, okay, run it up, let's see what it's doing. It's two different AIs, Gemini, couldn't sort it out. So let's see if we can sort it out with ChatGPT. What we got here? So, right, so it's raising up. Oh, it's actually gone to 3200 this time, which is good. It didn't quite go up there last time. In the middle, what have we got? 1600, yeah, we're coming down. We're clamped at 1000 still. And now we're going up again. And back to 1000. So, no, it's no good. No good. Right, okay. We'll keep that though, because it did go up to the value. Better value. Right. Which one did I just change? That one. Right. So, I think I need to give it the filter wave. I'll give it the filter wave, haven't I? It's still stopped at 1000 hertz and moving left, still jumps up at the max frequency. Yeah, it's trying to be clever with the AI. It puts all this C code in there, which nobody can understand, and it just makes mistakes. There's mistakes in there. You're right, looking at the files again, there are two separate problems. My previous fix only addresses one of them. The important problem I missed, the notch track can calculate the frequency correct, but filter wave on value change launches every notch update on a separate task run. Right, so while you're dragging you generate, but those catcoms are running concurrently. No, I don't think that's it. Out of order. It just thinks it knows what the problem is. Add a dedicated logic drag position. Replace the entire thumb drag delta with this. Didn't we just do that? Prevent radio updates from overwriting the value during dragging. Radio updates. Doesn't show mouse left button up handler and the supplied source. The drag life cycle from the thumb. I think it's hallucinating now. Nah, it's not that. Right, so I'll tell it it's not that. You may be hallucinating. No. I can't spell hallucinating. Illuminating. Right. So my other controls work okay. The width and the shift, that also update the UI. You're right, and your comparison is important. It was over-focused on the cat feedback path. Looking strictly at the updated code, the notch has different drag implementation from the width shift, and the bug is in the notch coordinate mapping. The key line is this, but immediately before that you do, yeah, so the notch frequency is not mapped from the pixel. More importantly, I now see why my previous suggestion still didn't fix the behaviour. Reaches a notch screen position, then clamps it again. Here is an even more concrete clue. Notch is different. This creates feedback loop between frequency and screen position. What I can do instead is make the notch frequency itself the source of truth. I will change only these two places. First add this helper. Add a helper. Right, then make the drag work with the current frequency rather than the current thumb position. So a new drag delta. I would not change yet. Okay, we'll go with it, and we're more likely wasting our hours of work here. We'll probably have to end up undoing it, I'd think. But I'll give it a last chance. Right, let's give it a try. I've lost confidence in it that it would fix it, but so I'll put that to full, turn the send off, turn it off. What we got here, 2,200. Right, it gets to 1,000, it starts to increase. It's going all the way up to 3,200. You got 1,600 there. You're coming down. 1,000. It's stuck at 1,000 hertz. And it does actually go lower right at the end, but it jumps up. So yeah. Okay, so it's not working. Hang on, tell you what, let's give it the data sheet as well. Let's give it the data sheet. Oh. Can't upload nothing else. Wow. Did not work. Did not work. Seems to start playing up when lowering to 1000 hertz. It always starts. I don't think there's a primary problem. I don't want to keep guessing. I have to try random. The next thing I'd expect is the actual notch frequency conversion. Your plan is on the free. Yeah. Never mind. Never mind. My plan has run out. Bye. Yeah. Right. So I'm not going to get any help from AI, so we're going to have to do it ourselves. So it's introduced some notch frequencies in, and let's undo it because it's just putting more bloat into it. Alright, so we're back. Let's just build it, and I think we're just gonna have to do it ourselves. It's overly crazy, complicated. It shouldn't be. It's just the way that AI's built it up. It's hallucinations. Doesn't understand the problem. It's got worse, you know. AI has. It was better a few weeks ago. In a matter of weeks, it's gone worse. See, that's put 010. That's actually the right value. But it jumps up, goes straight up. It's not going with the drag. So anyway, the cat command's there, but it's doing the wrong thing. And we were going to do the contour. We didn't get onto the contour yet. So anyway, let's say that's a work in progress, and let's see if we can get the contour going. Or we'll have to rewrite this drag. Sorry, this one. See, this is something that's added to it. Gonna have to rewrite that. Yeah, the more times you use AI, the more problem you get. It just tries to be too clever. So the new top, don't know what it's doing. It's crazy. It's trying to be too clever. Anyway, right. So it does actually send values, but it stops. I suppose I ought to try and find out where the problem is. So you're dragging it. If the left shoulder, it minus the fixed slope width. What is the fixed slope width? Border. Right. So what's this drag going to return? It's just dragging the thing, isn't it? And then the property, set notch frequency internal, snap to frequency, min max step. Right, let's take this out a minute. See what it does. Right, let's take that out a minute. Just see what happens. Right, so I've got a value there. It's giving me individual values now. So the individual values that aren't compatible, it'll ignore. So it's giving me 192 when there is no 192. Let's just see, the V's still coming down. It's coming down. It's stopping at 1,000 again. Right, so it's still stopping there. So the frequency, the minimum plus frequency ratio times max minus min. Don't know. Right, so what we want is a little function. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go into Gemini again. ChatGPT is finished with me for another 48 hours or whatever it is. Right, so I'm just going to C# Windows Presentation Foundation Frame Work 4.8. Could you write me a function that has how many arguments? Yeah, it has a right function. Right, it's got to go that accepts a an int that as an argument that it sets the direction, say say -1 for left and +1 for right, 0 equals no change. I need to send a value between 10 and 3200, which with steps of 10. Okay. With steps of 10. Okay. That should be enough. So let's write me a little routine. I've not told it what I'm doing with it, so a value control it's written. Here is a robust function written that manages the value between 10 and with depths of 10. Ensures that any position input acts as a +1. Right. So class value controller. And we got adjust the direction. So we got direction. Right. That's no good. Oh, so if we go, yeah, direction, it goes up 10 and down 10, it returns the current value. Okay, so we need to convert that. Integration. You usually want your UI to update this when the value changes. I haven't told it anything about a UI. Oh, it thinks we're doing. Here is how you can implement this inside a view model. I don't need to do that. No. Usage examples. Right. Okay. Yeah, that's easy enough. I don't need this bit. I've already got that bit, so we just need this bit. Do we create its own thing or inline? Alright, so we just need this here really. We just need that bit of code there. So we're going to put it somewhere. Where are we going to put it? I need to put it, probably need to keep it in here somewhere. Not in that bit though, it just needs its own little section. Somewhere with the rest of the stuff. Here we are, set contour, set notch values. Yeah, somewhere here. So I'll put it there. Right, this is the new notch section. Okay, let's give it a space from the rest. Okay, so adjust the direction. Okay, so we want to go down to the filter. So the drag delta, I need a new drag delta. For this one. It's actually so we want the drag, but we don't want to calculate. We want to calculate some stuff for the UI, but the frequency needs to be a separate thing. Set notch frequency, internal frequency. So it's doing some calculation. Want to ignore all that. Let it do the. Oh, my mouse has died. My mouse has died a death. Hang on. That's a camera. That's a charger. Here it is. No, that's a something else. What did I do with my charging lead? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Right. What should we do? Plug it into that battery bank. I keep moving my mouse, so I've flattened my mouse. Let's charge it up again. Okay, it's getting charged up now. Right, we're back on again. Yeah. I forgot what I was doing now. Yeah, so we're setting the notch. The drag's okay. Set the notch. External, internal. Enabled. Update the thumb. Update the waveform. Invoke the frequency. So, notch frequency. Right, we need to do something there. So we need to add that to that. Let's say I'll start with a 1. Start with a 0. Right, invoke the notch frequency. So what we want to do is override all the other stuff. We need to do it on the drag. We need to find out the delta of the drag. Right, so where is the first drag we can see? I can't see it for looking. Where is the drag? Oh, we're not using the drag. Can't see a drag. Why are we not using the drag? Morning everyone, how you doing? Morning John. How you doing? You awake? Have you moved your house yet? Still doing it probably. Right, let's find another drag. So contour drag. I don't see the drag. Drag delta object. What am I not seeing? How does it know? Right, so sender. Is there a sender down here? Where's the sender? Or is it the E? Sorry, anything with an E on it. There it is. E with horizontal change. Right, I need to do a drag. Let's try and find one that works. Yeah, here's one. Where's he? Can't see it. I'm not seeing the... Oh, here are vertical change. All I need to do is... what's this? Gets the vertical distance that mouth has moved since the previous. Yeah, so all we need to do is find a delta. Just trying to think. Yeah, we've got one on the main window. Let's get the main window up. Here it is. Find a drag on there. I'll do it the same way. We'll use the same idea as we did for the volume. So we are dragging. Just got to find it in all this code. Right, yeah, drag delta. Double delta. That clamps it to... yeah, let's try that. So we've got a delta, which is E delta. And then we're doing a delta. Yeah, let's just copy this bit here. Go down, go up. Right, so we're going to go back to down here. We're going to add this little bit of code just here. So we've got an E delta. Why not? Does not contain a definition for delta. drag delta event arg. So we got the wrong kind of drag. What have we got? Drag delta event doesn't contain a definition. Okay. Mouse wheel event args, slightly different. So, okay, there isn't a delta, so that's probably why they've done it in this way. Right, no delta, so we're going to have to work something else out. Let's see what there is then. E dot handles vertical change. A vertical change. Source. Oh, not moved yet. Still backing. John Morange says not moved yet. Still packing. They just finished putting in the grass at the new place. Ah, fair play. I'll be hooking up everything in the war wagon in a couple of days. We're running your software too. Oh, very good, mate. It'd be nice to see someone using it, or you know, even if they do a picture or a snapshot or a video or anything, be good. Yeah, just inspire me to carry on with it. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's good that. I like that. I like the idea of that. I can't remember. Somebody sent me a picture of their setup in their vehicle, and I thought we couldn't have that here because we'd end up someone would nick all the stuff. You know, and he says he never gets any trouble. Nobody nicks nothing. So he's got a gun or something. They got shot if this. Yeah, we don't have a gun here, so they just take whatever they want. You can't have anything here. You couldn't leave radios on show. I'll make sure I take. Yeah, oh, brilliant. Yeah, that'll be good. What I'm gonna do is I'll give you another pre-release update in the next today or tomorrow morning, something like that. So there'll be another one, but I think you have to uninstall the old one and put the new one on. Anyway, I need to work out different versions, but they are pre-releases. I don't expect much from them anyway. It's category all of its own. This cat command stuff. I think they based it off backward compatibility, so they, instead of cleaning the slate, and they've just kept it backward compatible as far as they could. Otherwise they break a lot of software, but old software that probably most people aren't using, maybe some of the old stuff. Anyway, it's a bit more complicated than it first appears. When you get a sample thing, you do an FA command, which is set the frequency of VFOA or read the frequency. It's dead easy, just pass it the frequency. Then they hide the complicated stuff further down when you get into the filter stuff. I mean, the way I was doing it, if I wanted to change the width, I would just say do an opcode. I'd call the thing the same. They're using 2-character opcode, so they like SH or something. Maybe that's the Japanese for width. I don't know. It's a lot. I'll short out my brain trying to program. Yeah. I think I've shorted mine out a few times in the past. Well, like half of it's just juggling different data sheets and stuff, juggling it around. AI will help you a little bit, but don't rely on it too much. I've overly relied on it, trying to cut the development time down. It would take me a week to develop a good drag routine where I can get one quickly, but the quick way from AI is full up of bloat and extra stuff that's not needed. It's trying to imagine what it is you're asking. It can't read my mind, so I have to tell it, and if I omit something, it will think it knows what I'm trying to do, but in fact it does it a convoluted way, overly complicated. And when you're trying to edit it or change it, it becomes almost impossible. So you're much better off to write your own. That takes a week, but this project, I think we're about 3 or 4 months into it, and we would have probably taken a year. See what I mean? So just trying to speed it up, but AI, it's not the same on any. I can try AI early in the morning, about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. It seems great. And you get later in the day, it seems to curtail its resources and starts going a bit dumb on me. I've been working with AI a lot here. I run my own models. Yeah, I should run some local models. Not looked into that yet. Yeah, you got to be careful with it, haven't you? Very careful. I mean, this program now, it's got that much bloat in there that's unnecessary. It needs someone to go through it. But I've gone down a route I don't normally go. On my own project, UPass, it took me 10 years of getting up in the morning and evening work, bank holidays, any spare time on it. But I wrote it all myself. So I can find stuff in it. It takes a while, but I can find stuff in it. But I can understand what it is I'm looking at. But now I could probably write that in about a year. That took 10 years. But I'd have to give it snippets at a time, little bits at a time. If you give it too much, I don't know, it's like some kind of ego that takes over and it starts to meddle with stuff. But I can't explain in words quick enough what I'm trying to do. Going to be training a model to run the house down there. Lights, air conditioning, solar security and power systems. Yeah. That would be nice. You'll end up like was that film Mother, is it, or something? I can't remember what it's called now. Mother. There's one film that it's trapped in this AI building, and the waiter or whatever starts attacking the people. Yeah, I noticed some of the schools I've been working in recently, they've started decoupling the light switches away from direct controls of the lighting. You press a push switch, it springs back, it turns on the lighting, and they've got sensors that automatically switch stuff on as well. But then you can override it with a switch, a toggle switch, rather than a light switch. Press it once, it springs back, press it again. And that's the idea for energy conservation. But then you can hook it into your AI and stuff, into your automation. It's going to trap me in the house and hold me hostage. Yeah. Maybe not yet. Wait till you get your own assistant, Domestroid, whatever they want to call it, Cyberdroid assistant. So yeah, wait till that happens. That'd be great though, wouldn't it? Some of the people I work with, I go and fetch me this, that and the other, and they don't want to fetch it. So now it'd be great if you had something that was attentive, like a little dog. Go and fetch the stick, and it brings the stick straight back, and it's waiting for the next one. Yeah, that'd be great. I'm getting a robot one of these days. You're talking of robots. Going way back to the 80s, I always wanted to build a little Domestroid, and I envisaged it 4-wheel drive, with a big battery in the bottom as a ballast or to hold the weight, with a hand crane above that goes 360 degrees, and it drives around, it follows white lines, goes and charges itself up and all this kind of stuff. But I've never built one because I know I could build one. It's a funny thing to say. I know I could do it, so I don't do it. There's like no challenge to it. So, but nowadays you've got loads of stuff. You know, you can charge up with RF energy. You don't need to even connect. And some of this recognition they've got now, picture recognition, I don't even know how they do that. To program something to recognise a fixed object, it's not easy. Without AI or something else, just a local program, you know, just a number plate recognition. You've got to take your picture, your camera's got to be pointing to the number plate area, it's got to clean the picture up, then it's got to try and find out the edges of the number plate, then it's got to try and turn it into characters, and if your car is slightly askew, it's got to change the skew on it, try to clean it up. Now that's just a number plate with numbers. I wrote in 2003. I wrote advanced motion detection algorithm because I wanted to recognise movement, but I didn't want to pay for a commercial control. Every time you sold a copy of it, you'd have to pay them a fee, a royalty, whatever it is. So I made my own, and instead of just having a bounding area on it that frames it, it used to change the show you the pixels, turns it into a bitmap, and highlight the pixels in a colour like red dot. So if I was to move my hand, you'd suddenly see my hand changing from a picture to red dots, but it still looks like a hand because it's and they change, and those pixels that change, it's like having a sensor, a switch on a sensor that you've got. At the time it was 320 by 240. Imagine to have 320 by 240, so if you've got whatever that adds up to, I should know, calculator, 320 by 240, 76,800 sensors or pixels that anyone can change, and you'd get noise. You actually get noise from looking at one picture to the next. You used to sample the picture every time, grab the picture, turn it into a bitmap and compare it against the previous one, like that. So you're looking at two and you're saying any changes, highlight the pixel that's changed, but you get noise. So even the human eye can't see the difference between the colour changes, but there is enough for it to trigger a red pixel. So I used to have to put a tolerance level, so it had to be different to the previous picture by a certain amount. So say if it was say if it was 100 the first time it read it, if it was 101 it wouldn't do a pixel, so it had to be so many percent above the difference to tell it to put, otherwise it'll just be constantly flickering with noise. So anyway, I set that up to do that as a Visual Basic program, believe it or not, written in Visual Basic, which Microsoft have got rid of. That was crazy. Visual Basic, I've still got it. It's called Chopper. Chronograph, hiatus, observer, psychology, expedite, reliever. It watches. You can bound off an area, like to watch your car. Anyone goes near your car, within certain, and it would track them, and it could. You could section it off. So anyone comes within 2 meters of my car, give out a warning siren. There was a speaker attached to it, and anyone who gets within a metre of your car, it then comes out with, I've taken a snapshot, you've gone off to a monitoring station, your picture's gone off, keep clear of the vehicle. I mean, you could mask out, you could have a public footpath nearby with people traversing, you could mask it off, as in you're only telling it what areas you're interested in, so any lots of motion in other areas doesn't matter. So anyway, I wrote that function to save me money, and I could scan in red, green or blue, or all three. And I also built in motion presence detection. You've got motion detection where you can walk and it catches you, but if you walk very slowly, it won't pick up the motion. So what I did is I had a reference photo that was guaranteed there was nobody in the picture or nothing in the picture. So what you do is you scan against motion, and when the motion has ceased, if you've lost the motion within the picture, it'll scan against the static picture, but then the static picture had to be changed throughout the day for different light levels as it gets darker and all the rest of it. So if you stand still, it'll know you're still there. The pixels have actually changed, even though you're not triggering new pixels. So it used to do presence detection and motion. And I used to set a section areas off on the screen and play a sound sample. So I did 8 octaves of rectangle. So I'd move my hand here and it would play one sound, and I'd come over here and you could, like a piano, like that. Just crazy what you could do. Yeah, it was interesting. I ought to fire it up one day, but I have to install Visual Basic again. I did all the artwork for it and everything. It used to talk to you. It used to use the sound card to output warning sounds and stuff, and it used to say detected motion zone 1, camera 1, whatever, detected. It used to tell you where the motion was detected, just to playing, just playing. Anyway, so we've got to find a new thing for Delta. So the best way I can do is ask this drag Delta event args. Oh, let's say hello to somebody else who came in. Let's have a look. Yes. Want gaming. Yeah. Welcome to the stream. Can you explain me like to a college student about what you're doing? Seems interesting. Right, okay. Welcome to the stream, Yashwath. Yeah. Anyway, welcome. So, we're developing I don't know if you know anything about radio, ham radio. It doesn't really matter. We're just coding for some ham radio at the minute. Let me show you. So, let's bring up the last working version, if it'll bring it up. Yeah. So we've got a software front end, what they call a software front end. So we've got an actual radio here. Hang on, let me show you that. Right, so I'll try and lift it up without everything collapsing. So we've got this radio here. Okay. Speaker cable's short on it. I'll try and pull that over there. So we've got the radio here, and it's the same as the one on the screen. Let me put this back before it falls down. Got to be careful, everything could be unplugged easily around here. But we've got Windows, it's on Windows 10 at the minute, Windows 11, Windows 10, Windows 7, whatever. It's a 64-bit C# Windows presentation app solution. that's running with a skin on it, and you're able to interact with the radio via like a printer cable that sends serial commands backward and forward to the radio. And instead of operating the controls on the radio, you're able to operate them on the screen, change frequencies and listen to. Have we got? Oh, not got my aerial plugged in, so I've just switched over to an aerial. So we can interact with it, but turn the volume up, turn the volume down, do various things, change the frequency. So this actual frequency it's listening to, it's like a bit like a radio. You can have a search or you can scan. I could just about hear someone there. So we can go into another screen where we can actually scan. That's cool. Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, so I normally make electronics, but circuit boards and stuff, and ESP32, Arduinos, Raspberry Pi, controllers, basically. You know, that's what I normally do, and then write the software front end for it. Well, I've just decided to. I bought this radio, and I wanted to get into the cat commands, so I created this thing. How are you able to get the radio on the screen to show us light application? Well, it's a photograph, basically. It's a composite, AI composite of the radio. It's twice the size of the radio. Everything has to be programmed up. Every detail you see here has to be programmed. It has to. You can't just. You can't. It doesn't just appear. You have to make it happen in great detail. You know, changing the mode. I'm just slugging them through, trying to find some Morse code. But yeah, there's all sorts of digital modes for talking, basically. I mean, it probably seems outdated today. Let me just shut that off. So basically, before the internet, we used to talk to each other with radios, either CB radios, amateur radios, whatever. Then came along the internet, and a lot of people, even including me, sort of went off it a bit. And as you get older, you go back to what you know, and you go and buy equipment again and start having a play, basically, just playing with the stuff you know. And you can actually integrate the old radio analog stuff into the digital era, so this doesn't do that, sort of. It makes a digital control of it, but yeah. Yeah, you can get into all sorts. I do go around ITs in schools and stuff, and I do ask them, have you got a microcontroller section, or do you mess with electronics? And I am shocked the amount of times they say, no, we don't mess around with electronics, we don't do microcontroller, we don't do programming. I'm thinking, wow, what, you know, but maybe it's just not on the list. It's not on there. I'm surprised that they don't have it. Some places do. They have laser cutting. They cut plastics with laser machines. It's more of an apprentice thing, I suppose, and they're more interested in teaching you other stuff. Yeah. So anyway, at the minute we're just trying to get the I'm putting a new little bit of a routine into here, but I want to ask, I'll just paste this into there. How may I track like the E.delta? So I'm just using a different, right, typically use the thumb control, doesn't have a single delta property. It tracks the movement across two separate axes using horizontal change and vertical change. Depending on whether you are tracking horizontal or vertical, you can, so I'm tracking horizontal. So horizontal change is greater than direction 1. Okay, that's what I want. It's basically the same thing. Yeah. Sorry, I've gone off on a tangent. I need your brain for my next project, lol. Yeah. My brain is in its decline, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm on statins. I take statins every night. So short-term memory is not what it should be, basically. Yeah, but I know what you mean. Horizontal change, right, so we can do it from that. Okay, they've just changed the wording of it for some reason. Suppose it makes better sense than a delta. People don't know what a delta is. Right, so we're not doing a mouse, so it's not a mouse scroll direction. Assign but value is never used. Right, we've not used it, right. Okay, so we'll keep the mouse scroll. I'm just going to put it into that bit there. Okay. Invoke the notch frequency. So this is going to, yeah, so if we say the notch frequency is equal to the output of this function. So we're basically keeping all the drag and UI stuff, but overriding the actual output. Let's see how that goes. See how that goes. Oh, we're not using delta there. Oh, actually we should have used that delta, sorry. Or did I use it? Yeah, I did use it. I have to design a couple of PCBs for a loop on ground RX antenna I want to release. Yeah. I use KiCad for, I used to use EagleCAD. I use EagleCAD and KiCad, but I'm more fluent in EagleCAD. But KiCad's a free one, and there's a lot of components built in and stuff, so it might be the best way of doing it. Right, I'm just looking on the radio now. I'm going to go into the notch. It's showing 1500 at the minute, so I'm going to open this to the widest setting. I'm going to pull down the notch and put it back up again. Alright, it's saying 3200. Hang on. Oh, it's actually playing up now. Yeah, so that invoke the thing is actually right, so that's not going to do us there. Right, so that needs to maintain the one it is. Hang on, the delta. Let's just get rid of no, we should be able to do that still. I think it's doing something with a 6. I'm not sure what the 6 is now. Right, so invoking the notch enabled. So Right, so it's coming over to this notch frequency. So it's taking the frequency. Right, I got you. So what we need to do is probably, yeah, don't know why that would change the UI. Why would that suddenly change the UI? Or let's put something else in there. Let's just take that out a minute. Just take that out there. Yeah, I mean, it's like anything, that if the less time you spend on it, you lose the ability. It comes back to you though. Right, that's the last one I designed. That's the last one I designed. This this PCB, this one here, and it fits this module. I designed other ones. I used Eagle CAD. I think I copied part of the Eagle CAD into here and then finished it off with KiCad. But that's in a black PCB. But it's not an easy task. I don't know where I used to get the to maintain the desire to build it. It's taken it out of me a bit because I went to that extreme, and I haven't actually sold any. So back on this thing again. That's my another one I made. There's one of those boards in there. It's got the OLED on the screen, and you can bring up the web interface. Let's bring up the web interface. Anyone can go onto that one, as long as it hasn't changed. What's it doing? Has someone rebooted the router? Oh no, there it is. You can't see it. Hang on. There it is. So you log in there and you can see the green light and the click. And this is working across the internet. I showed you this before. You know, you've got all sorts of things. It tracks stuff real time. So it feeds back there. If I toggle it on, it shows you there. Alright, give me a second. Right, anyway, let's undo all this. Yeah, so I don't know why I showed you that, but going off on a tangent really. Right, got to wrap it up in a minute. It's Saturday and we're going shopping. So what we'll have to do, actually, hang on, that might be the reason why it played up. Let me have a look. So what's the go down? Oh, it's 4. Ah, there's a problem, isn't it? So making a preamp and a control box to change gain and noise filtering. Going to power it with a bias T circuit. Fair play. Preamp, it's like coils and stuff and inductors. Is it that kind of preamp? Oh, I'm just going to put this, yeah, so that's why it was playing up. Let's just use this exact code. Set direction. Direction. Alright, I don't know what that is. Right, hang on, let's just replace this with that. No, some of it. Right, okay. Let's just see if this works now, because it was put in wrong values. Right, do we need the delta? We're not using the delta at the minute, so we'll leave that out. Right, okay, let's give this one more go before we knock it on the head for it till later on. Yeah, any help you need on it, mate, let me know, we'll have a look. I don't know what your skill levels are on it. Right, so we're going to turn the send off, drag this down. Alright, and it's doing exactly the same. Ah, it's fighting me, look. It's fighting me, so we're going to leave that out for a minute. What I'll do is I will purposely make an error. That's it. If I do that, it'll be an error for next time. And I can carry on. So we're going to leave it at that. Right, I did a proof of concept once. It was hearing as good as my 80-meter loop, but no RFI at all. I'll make sure I can't pay. Oh no, I don't need no money. Don't need no money. I thought of a concept the other day, you know, like a Tesla coil. A Tesla coil, he has a coil, and it constantly stepping the voltage up as it winds up. It's constantly stepping. I asked some AI tool, I said, can I make an antenna out of a coil? A continuously changing coil. Initially it said no, you can't do it. And then I said, what about if the coil starts wide and it tapers up? A bit like a fan dipole where it finds its own frequency and cuts off. And it said you can, but it'd have to be, to do 80 meters, you have to have quite a big circle at the start, so it's spiral. You go around and round and round like that, ever decreasing depth, and like a helical thing. Because what I get sick of is with my hustler adjusting each section, and it doesn't really do a lot because the traps are doing it all for you anyway, really. So I just want an antenna you can just put up and you don't have to touch it, you don't have to adjust it, you don't do anything. I don't want it to be a long wire or a random wire, and it needs to occupy a vertical space. So he said you could 3D print. I told him I've got 3D print in CNC. You'd have to hold the wire and it'd have to be exactly held as it winds. But there's a way of doing it. So imagine on your roof, instead of a whip, you've got a massive coil. You know, something I could 3D print the spokes onto, but it allows you to circle it round like that, lightweight, and you just wind your wire around it into a circle. I used to play with bits of copper wire years ago, back in the 80s. Just wind them up and build radials and stuff. With a matcher, you needed a matcher, but anyway, we're going to knock it on the head for today, so let's get the thumbnail up. No, not today, I'm going to do some more later on. We'll do some more work on it later on, so that's literally going to be it. So I've got to go out, so we're going out. So 73, thanks for watching. So I'll probably be on about 3 or 4 o'clock. Yeah, any help you need, no problem. Software you need setting up or advice, let me know. Alright then, I'm out of here. Have a good day everyone, and bye bye.
Is that a question?
Yes.
The question is futile.
That information is not available.
My interpretation of the data leaves little room for error.
You know what they say. No good deed goes unpunished.